right, welcome back to KM6LYW Radio, the show about amateur radio or ham radio, reimagining radio in the information age. DigiPi 2.1, it is out and available. Let's check it out. This time on KM6LYW Radio. All right, still getting away with the bumper music. That's right, super cheap production value, so we can pass the savings on to you. Let's check it out, DigiPi. So DigiPi is an amateur radio data transceiver. It's something I give to patrons of the channel. It's an SD card that you download from digipi.org. You put it in your Raspberry Pi, you hook it up to your rig here, and it gives you access to every single data mode, like keyboard to keyboard, APRS, packet radio, FT8, all of that stuff, and it makes it available via any Wi-Fi device, basically anything that has a web browser. So it kind of turns your radio into a website. You don't need to know a bunch of Linux stuff. There's no command line utilities. It's a really plug and play. You install it, you initialize it, and it comes up as a hotspot. So if you're on the summit or in the parks, you can operate it remotely as well. No internet is required. Digipi.org to get the SD card for DigiPi. So the reason we're here today is because we just released DigiPi 2.1. It's got some cool new features that we're going to go over. We're going to do some operations today. We got all our packet modes, APRS. Maybe we'll do a little FT8 here. When you first get your DigiPi SD card image after you download it and flash it with maybe a Balena etcher, put it in, turn on your DigiPi, it becomes a hotspot, a Wi-Fi hotspot called DigiPi, and the password's ABCDEFGHIJ, super secret. And then you visit 10005 in your web browser, you click on initialize, and you enter all of your information, like you enter your call sign, maybe your WinLink password, your APRS passcode. All of that information is available here on the right. And then you choose your radio interface. In my case, I have an ICOM 705, the rig number, port number. We can see that stuff here because it's already detected that. But if you have something like a Baofeng with an AIOC cable, and maybe you got the Toads DI device, so you just select that and then go ahead and hit initialize, and then DigiPi will magically start working with your rig. So in the park or the summit, obviously it's going to be its own DigiPi hotspot, but if you want to, go ahead and click on Wi-Fi and connect it to your home network, so it's much faster if you've got a stationary shack like I do. And today we're going to go ahead and start maybe with a little bit of APRS modes. We've also got some AX.25 node networking, NetROM, WinLink email server and client, again all web-based. We've got an RDOT modem for HF email, WinLink stuff. We've got FT8, brand new version 3, slow scan TV, FL Digi, and JS8 call. Again, all of this displays and runs in your web browser, so no fancy Linux or half-baked Raspberry Pi stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you're wondering what all of this stuff is going on behind me here. What's all this radio stuff, all this packet information, call signs, and messages going on? This is APRS Packet Radio, an automatic packet reporting service. This is kind of like the data side of your radio. You'll notice a lot of radios, including this one, already has APRS built in. But for radios that don't have APRS, like this $1,000 ICOM, DigiPi gives you that service. It gives you access to all data modes on basically on all radios. So one of the new features of DigiPi 2.1 is a brand new web chat interface. You can see we've started that here. I click on web chat, and we're going to add a call sign that we want to send a message to. So KN6JYI, that happens to be the XYL's radio right here. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. And I'm going to add her call sign to the list. So this is just like any other instant messaging interface, right? This could be just like the thing on your iPhone. Really trying to get kids into amateur radio. If you want to get kids into amateur radio, make sure it works on their phones, right? So this is that. Of course, you can run all of this on your phone. It displays just fine. I got DigiPi up here on my phone. So we've got KN6JYI. I can send a message that says, hey, how's it going? It's a lot easier to type here than it is on your phone. I'm going to send that right now, and this web browser is connected to the DigiPi right here, and then that's connected via USB to the ICOM 705, and it's going to transmit this packet over APRS network, and it's going to go to this radio, and I'm going to do that right now. Off it goes, and the radio beeped, and I got, hey, how's it going? I don't know if you can read that. And the radio sent an acknowledgement message, and we got a little thumbs up here, meaning that I know KN6JYI got this message. And I can, of course, reply to that if I want to as well. And I'm just going to reply with, it's hard to type on these. I'm just going to reply with, hey, I'll get it right. I'm getting better at this. And this, I'm going to send a message. and you'll see it says hey here, and the message went out. The DigiPi sent an acknowledgement. So that is APRS instant messaging from radio to radio. There's also kind of a secret call sign called SMS, and this is where we can send messages to cell phones. So I can say at 12348675309 and then a message. Go to aprs.wiki to get more information on this. I set up an alias called CL, so I'm not going to give out my phone number, and say, hey, this is RF to SMS, and I'm going to send this out on wide one. I'm going to send that right now. And there it is. This says, hey, this is RF to SMS right there. And I can reply, of course, say, hey, how's it going? This is going to be SMS message, and it's going to go through the APRS network back to my over RF to this radio and back to the DigiPi. And we're going to see it pop up here in this web browser, which is connected to DigiPi. I just sent, hey, how's it going here on the phone over SMS. And then we see down here, hey, how's it going? We came through over the APRS network. Other cool new features with DigiPi 2.1. You can send your beacon here. Just sent that out, and let's see if we can get a repeat. There's this KM6LYW. I'm Flames right now, and you can change your icon now, which is totally cool. I don't know. I could be this. I could be a horse rider if I wanted to, and I send that beacon out. Send it and let's see if I get it back. Hey, now I'm a horse rider. Why not? Hey, we got GPS integration now. It gets a GPS info directly from your radio, and we can do smart beaconing. We can do interval or manual beacons, all available with the DigiPi WebChat interface. So we got some cool new themes and stuff too. Maybe you want the night theme. So this is the new DigiPi WebChat interface and all the cool new features. I'd really like to thank WB4BOR. He put all of this together. He's been just instrumental in helping out with the DigiPi project. And while we're still in APRS mode, another cool feature is the map. Again, WB4BOR comes through for the win on the map. So this is an animated tactical map of all of the stations in our area, and this has been running for a little while here. You can see my little horse guy right here. You can see where I just sent that beacon, but totally cool. We can actually not only see the map, but we can see all of the packet traffic. We can decode packets, all of the map features you come to love, like with aprs.fi. This kind of replaces that. It makes a local version of aprs.fi. You can click on each one of these things. I can click on this and say set as my position. This is where I'm at. It's got my weather station there. Lots of cool stuff. In the settings, there's lots of overlays. You can do KML files, GPX overlays. It does OpenStreetMap caching, so it will do offline maps if you just pre-populate the cache. But what's cool is this actually is animated, so you can see when things are transmitting, and you can see kind of how the traffic is bouncing around. Like there we see a line. It has the mileage on it. Just went from Berkeley to Amador County. So we can kind of see a live tactical map of what's going on around you from an APRS perspective. The mapping feature is totally cool. All right, so I can play with that for a while. The other cool thing that we added is a Bluetooth pairing interface. So this is so you can pair your phone up with DigiPi and use things like aprsdroid or Radio Mail or WODE. You can do a scan here. You can see I've already connected my Pixel 3a, so I can do aprsdroid no problem, assuming it's configured here. Or WODE is another cool one. So that's over Bluetooth. So DigiPi does Bluetooth stuff for those Bluetooth apps, and what we did here with DigiPi 2.1 is to make this Bluetooth pairing much easier. We used to have to go to the Linux command line. And again, I'm telling you, shouldn't have to do Linux command line stuff to do this, and it's all web-based. Obviously, I can't go through every single mode here in this video, but I would encourage you to check back with my other videos to see how we use all of these different modes to communicate digitally, moving data back and forth. DigiPi is the software that I use here every day, all the time, and on the channel, so it really allows you to play along at home, so you can see exactly what I see here and get access to all these cool modes. One thing I might highlight is the packet radio and bulletin board stuff. You remember the old school BBSs? That's still alive with packet radio, so if I want to connect to the cool node, I can do that here. Make sure I switch to the right frequency. It's 145050, and I'm connected to a bulletin board over packet radio. In fact, there's DigiPi includes this bulletin board. In fact, I can enter a chat room here and chat with other users that are in this chat room. Maybe they're using other DigiPis, maybe they're using Caltronics devices. It doesn't matter. But what's cool is like I'm here, I'm in a room and say, hey, I can chat with a whole bunch of people. So it's end-to-end communication and one-to-one communication, and DigiPi really allows that. So I'll go ahead and quit out of the bulletin board here. I don't know. That's one of my favorite modes. So I don't know. I guess I get to demonstrate it. And I also wanted to highlight another cool feature, and that is the latest version of WSJTX FT8. This is version 3.01. If you're an FT8 junkie, you're going to like this one. So I just started FT8 here, and I click on the WSJTX link down here, and we see WSJTX FT8 in a window, and you'll notice it already changed the frequency on the radio, and the stations are rolling in, and if I'm really lucky, and he's doing DX, I'll find a guy that has a good signal. I'm only at 10 watts here. And we are operating WSJTX FT8. It's in our web browser. You can hear me transmit. I don't know if you can hear that. Well, let's see if N5YV gets back to me here. I don't know where he is. And of course, it's not just in your web browser on your PC. This, of course, works on your tablet or your phone. You can see, you can have like multiplayer WSJTX. That's what this amounts to. So yeah, lots of fun. I'm going to disconnect that. Lots of fun. You could be doing this WSJTX FT8 in your easy chair in the other room over Wi-Fi. Have your rig here in the shack. Super simple stuff. Actually, I do that quite a bit. The wife just thinks you're having some quality time, but what you're really doing is doing FT8 on your phone. She doesn't know, and I won't tell. I don't know. Looks like he's already talking to somebody else, but this is WSJTX FT8. Really cool stuff. And of course, you don't need a big expensive rig like the ICOM 705. You can get like what we've got here. This is a $20 radio, a $20 Raspberry Pi, and a $20 radio interface. You can get this really cheap, and that gets you access to all the VHF, UHF packet modes. So really simple stuff. If I can make this a TNC just by pressing a button on here, and it'll go into TNC mode. I can grab the XYL's HT here and send a packet, and we'll see it pop up on the display. There's KN6JYI. So we can do this on the cheap too, guys. Really cool stuff. Obviously, you're not going to get WSJTX single sideband on a $20 radio, but that is cool, and you can do SMS messaging, and this is completely standalone too. It's all this isn't on the internet. You can do this in the parks. Pretty cool stuff, and it has the same web interface that you guys know and love. All right, patrons get access to this. This is the same device we use on the channel every day, all the time, so you can play along at home. Anything in the Patreon bucket at patreon.com/KM6LYW gets you access to the SD card image here at digipi.org. And that's where we have all the instructions to help you guys out, your shopping list, what you want to add, all the different screen types, radio interface adapters, how to initialize, and we've got some cool examples of the screenshots here, the different models. We can do a big one or a little one. You've just seen both of those. This works on everything from Raspberry Pi 02 wireless to a Pi 5. Still waiting on a Pi 6. But honestly, I like the 02 wireless. It works just fine. You're seeing it work on that Baofeng right there. Of course, the mapping feature, node services. Masters Communication has a cool interface. Temporarily offline. Steve has the Toads DI interface. There's links to that here. A lot of hardware has been developed in support of the DigiPi software. It usually doesn't work that way. We can send and receive email here using WinLink. Again, all via a web browser. All you need is a Wi-Fi device. JS8 call is there. So that is DigiPi at digipi.org. And patrons, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. All right, so DigiPi 2.1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you like? What do you don't like? If you find some bugs, let me know. We've got an active community on a Discord channel. Mailing lists, things like that. So, hey guys, my name is Craig, amateur radio call sign KM6LYW. I'm in California and I'm clear.